Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of Psalm 23 Explained. In the previous video, we went over verses 1 through 3, and now we're going to close out with verses 4 through 6. But before we do so, if you haven't subscribed to this channel as yet, please go ahead and do so. And don't forget to touch that bell so that you can be notified when new videos are available. Let's begin with verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The shepherd uses the rod and staff as a tool to guide the sheep and to protect them from potential predators. There is an assurance that even though they go through the valley and the shadow of death lurks, the shepherd is with them. The valley is a low place between two mountains. So sometimes navigating through life is hard. It is that low place where we find ourselves sometimes. It happens to everyone. The rich, the poor, the optimist, the pessimist, the good, or the evil. Sometimes it feels like life throws all the negatives at the same time. When we're going through these trials and these tribulations, we think God is not with us. Not only is the valley low, but coupled with the shadow of death. Not death itself, but the shadow, casting its dark, fearful outline in your life. We understand that, or did you know that a shadow is not tangible, but is cast by something that is? Trials and tribulations in our lives are real. Sickness, it's real. Or sadness, the depression, lacking, the worry, they are real. Fear, they are real. But the thought that you can never do better, you can never overcome, or you will never survive this, these thoughts are the shadows that hides your faith in God and creates that darkness. But listen, you have to know that regardless of what you go through, regardless of what the situation looks like, I have a shepherd that cares and will protect me. David in 1 Samuel told Saul that he said, I took care of my father's sheep, and a lion or a bear came and took a lamb out of the flock. And David said he went out after the adversary and struck it and delivered the lamb from its mouth. And when it arose against him, he struck and killed it. God wants to deliver you out of the mouth of the roaring lion who seeks to devour you and kill you. But is he your shepherd? The Lord wants you to take comfort in him. That he is your protector and that he will fight for you. All you have to do is keep the faith in him and hold your peace. Don't be afraid of the shadow of death. Jesus said in John 8, he said, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have light of life. Then David said in verse 5, he said, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Enemy in this verse means adversary, meaning to be in affliction, besieged, bind up, bring distress. These are situations that are brought on by the adversary, the devil. Anointest here means to be prosperous, and head represents the mind. God will make provision for you in the presence of those trials and tribulations. He will bring you in perfect peace in the presence of a storm. 2 Corinthians 4 verse 8 through 9 says, "We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not despaired, persecuted, but not forsaken, cast down, but not destroyed." Trust in the Lord. Whatever it is that you are going through in this moment, whatever trials and tribulation, whatever darkness is upon you, just remember that God is the light of this world. And you can trust in him. Just make him your shepherd, and you shall not want. David in verse 6 says, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." David is saying, nevertheless, good things, God's compassion shall follow me as long as I live, and I will dwell in the house forever. David closes out this psalm with another declaration that he will dwell in the house of the Lord forever, because God, Jehovah, the existing one, his shepherd, will make the necessary provisions for his life. I just want to encourage someone right now that whatever the situation looks like, whatever is happening in your life, God will help you. But you, in turn, will have to become his sheep and hand over everything that is happening in your life to him. I encourage you to give your life over to the Lord. Don't carry these burdens by yourself, because you have a God that cares for you and will carry those burdens with you. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for walking with me through Psalm 23. I am Allison Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on Manna for Thoughts.